Alrighty, good morning, gamers. Welcome in. To Retro Time. I'm Nosaj Ttimmed, and let's get into the news. My hair's crazy this morning. Alright, so I got too many tabs open. Hold on a second. Let me shut all these down. That's gonna stay up. Yeah, I have like 10 million tabs open. I just opened tabs up because I go ahead and share them off the places I'm streaming at, and then I end up leaving the tabs open because I'm just lazy. I'm too lazy to shut them. All right, now we should be good. All right, let me All right. This piece of hair back here is driving me nuts. That's why I kept touching my hair. All right. So, all right. So we got a bunch of GTA 6 stuff here, which is fine. I don't know if I'm gonna read it. The trailer did come out yesterday. I watched it, but doubt I'm gonna read any of this. Well, that's one thing I will say because this actually some of this takes place in Orlando, Florida, because there's buildings in it that actually are from Orlando, Florida. That's why. But I'm gonna read this one. All right, my screen is too stressed out. There we go. Rockstar confirms GTA 6 setting is a lot bigger than Vice City. Rockstar Games has confirmed that Grand Theft Auto is set in Leonor Leonade, yeah, Leonad or whatever, a state that essentially the franchise took franchise takes on Florida, expanding the scope by far beyond Vice City. Vice City had been rumored for Grand Theft Auto 6 years before the game announced. After all, with Grand Theft Auto 4 tackling Liberty City and Grand Theft Auto 5 offering its take on San Andreas, Vice City always seemed like the natural next step. Why didn't they just make another city? Alright. Grand Theft Auto 6 confirmed Vice City is one of its primary settings with a record-breaking debut trailer. The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer has that confirmed the game's playable character, graphical improvements, alligators, vehicles, and how Vice City is being updated. However, fans should know that Vice City is really just one part of the greatest Grand Theft Auto 6 map, as the game is set in the greatest state, Leonida. I can't pronounce that name. A full-fledged Grand Theft Auto 6 map has not been revealed at time of this writing, but Rockstar has confirmed that the game is actually set in Leonida, a fictional state that includes Vice City and other areas. The official description from Rockstar reads, Grand Theft Auto 6 heads to the state of Leonida, home of the neon-soaked streets of Vice City, and beyond, in the biggest, most immersive evolution of Grand Theft Auto series yet. Exactly how much of Leonida fans will get to explore remains to be seen, but more information should come to light in the lead up to the game's eventual 2025 launch. One of the most important pieces of information for Grand Theft Auto 6 came at the very end of the reveal trailer. While there was some hope that the open world crime game would drop in 2024, it has now been confirmed that Grand Theft Auto 6 release date will be at some point in 2025. Time will tell if Rockstar meets the date or the game's launch gets pushed back. But for now, fans can look forward to 2025 as being the year Grand Theft Auto 6. In the meantime, the same description that revealed Grand Theft Auto 6 setting to be Leonide and not just Vice City also confirmed that the game is currently aiming for release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X at launch. This seems to confirm Grand Theft Auto 6 will skip PC when it's first released, which is far par for the course when it comes to Rockstar games. It remains to be seen how long fans will have to wait for the eventual Grand Theft Auto 6 PC port, but Rockstar previous title suggests that it will take at least a year for the game to come to PC. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I'm not fully sure if I'm like excited to play it or not. I did watch the trailer and it looks really good. Like the graphics and everything looks very realistic. But I'm not sure if I'm excited to play it yet or not. Like it's one of those things that like yeah, it takes place like I can tell you that this is actually a spot in Florida in this image. Like this isn't just Miami. This is actually like Orlando, Florida right here. Cuz I've been down here. I've seen this spot. That's why I'm saying like is that Orlando, Florida they're in right now? Because they're just saying even a map's expanding, which means it's some of it's taking place in Orlando, Florida. Alright. Xbox Game Pass adds 4 more games. Xbox Game Pass adds 4 more games, so the Xbox Game Pass catalog is expanding today with 4 new games, including Crystal Dynamics, Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's the one I can't tell if there's people actually mad at that one because I'm not sure if it's that one or what it is, but I know people that are a fan of Tomb Raider are kind of mad at one of the Tomb Raider games. And Saber Interactive World War Z Aftermath. These new games join with the hundreds of games already available on Xbox Game Pass as part of the ongoing efforts of Microsoft to keep on providing more to the list, more to its players on a regular basis. Over the last few years, Xbox Game Pass subscription services have been ramping up, offering various games ranging from AAA titles like Starfield and Battlefield 2042 to indie gems such as Hollow Knight and Deep Rock Galactica for a monthly fee. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer recently revealed that the company spent over $1 billion a year on its Game Pass subscription. With the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard and King in a record $69 billion deal, players are expected even more major games to join the Xbox Game Pass in the near future. As expected, December 5th is a big day for Xbox Game Pass subscribers as Microsoft adds 4 new games to its online subscription service: Crystal Dynamics, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Saber Interactive World War Z, Aftermath, Du Bourgo, I guess, games, Clone Drone, in the Danger Zone, alright, and Bottonups games, while the Irons Hot are joining the Xbox Game Pass today, giving players new adventures to discover on Microsoft's consoles. I do have Game Pass right now for the month, and the thing is, I got Tomb Raider back there for the Xbox 360 I still need to play, but I'm debating if I want to, I don't know if that's the one everybody hates. I've seen a lot of it though. I've seen a lot of people like raving about it recently. So I don't know if there's like some anniversary that happened with that game, or like in general it's just like everybody that's that game that like everybody likes or something like that. I don't know what's I'm not sure what Rise of everybody thinks of Rise of the Tomb Raider, but if it's on Game Pass and I paid for Game Pass, I might try it out then. Clone Drone is the Danger Zone. In the Danger Zone is an indie action game pitting players against each other. Wouldn't that? Why they put pitting? Wouldn't that be pudding? Anyway, in this slice 'em up, player's mind have been downloaded onto a robot gladiator, and all of its body parts can be sliced up by opponents. The goal is to survive waves against of AI enemies or against other players in a battle royale like game mode. Players who don't feel like being sliced up can try Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, sequel to the 2013 soft reboot of Lara Croft's adventure. So I think that's the one I have back there. The Lara Croft's adventure. Well, not Lara Croft's adventure. It's called Tomb Raider. I don't know. While the Iron's Hot is coming day one to Xbox Game Pass, and the indie adventure game puts players in the boots of a crafty blacksmith tasked to restore a ruined village on the mysterious Isle of Elena. For those looking for more action, World War Z Aftermath is fast-paced co-op zombie shooter based on the Enop Enop Epin, eponymous movie starring Brad Pitt. Based on these new games coming to Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft enthusiasts can look forward to the Game Awards in 2023, as Xbox teased some major announcements. While exact nature of these announcements remain a mystery, fans expect news about upgraded versions of Xbox Series X and S, updates regarding Activision Blizzard games coming to Xbox Game Pass, or Xbox Series X and S release for Baldur's Gate. All right. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. There's something I want to do. I made some coffee and I want to make it and come back and finish it. So give me a second. 1 second here. We'll get back to it. Excuse me. All right, now. So they're officially like, so they're fully 100% done with updates and everything is what this means. I can guarantee you because they've done the DLC already, which is something I still need to get. Man, there's a lot of stuff I wanna play right now. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't get many games throughout the years, and like, well, I get games, but it's like I don't get the games that are coming out at the time. I get the games that I like have waited on for a little while normally. All right, so let's go back and read the title because I forgot. CD Projekt Red is done with Cyberpunk 2077. So they're not done with the game. Well, they are done with the game, but they're done with it in as of updating it and all that. So they're completely finished actually even touching it. With the December 5th release of Update 2.1, developer CD Projekt Red is officially done with its dystopian action RPG 20 Cyberpunk 2077. The game's highly anticipated launch in 2020 was generally considered disastrous with a plethora of bugs and graphical and performance issues that greatly damaged the polished developer's reputation and caused it to stock to tank. And caused the stock to tank. Despite this, Cyberpunk 2077 was the biggest digital game launch of all time, and discounting the technical problems, the game received prominently positive feedback. Up until the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red had earned a reputation of being for gamers by gamers, and many fans were rooting for the company to turn things around. In 3 years since the game release, the studio has done just that, releasing patches and updates along with well-received Phantom Liberty DLC. And Cyberpunk 2077's update 2.1 is promising to bring a final slew of quality of life changes and gameplay features to the RPG. When announcing the update, community director Marcin Moto Mo Mo Mommo man Mo I can't pronounce that name, sorry. Stated that CD Projekt Red had one more patch up our sleeves, and it turned out that December 5th will indeed be a big day for Cyberpunk 2077. Not only will it mark the release of Update 2.1, but it will also signify the closing of a 3-year long chapter on the game. The developer confirmed to ING that this update is meant to be the last big update. After that, the game studio will turn its attention to other projects. Namely, development on the next game in the Witcher franchise, aka Project Polaris, is ramping up according to its recently released financial report. The project is now a primary focus for the developer, with almost half of its employees working on it as of October 31st. The game is expected to be the first of a new trilogy set in the Witcher universe and will not focus on adventures of Gretel and much-loved monster hunting mutant. Oh, not Gretel. Geralt. Geralt. Oh, okay. So Geralt's the guy from The Witcher. I only know his name because people talk about him, but like I remember watching like a group of YouTubers. They're all women and they like they love Henry Cavill, and a lot of people actually like Henry Cavill. That like I actually learned the name of the guy from The Witcher due to the fact that they like him so much. And Geralt is the guy from The Witcher. I don't play The Witcher, so I didn't know that at first, but it will also be the first game developed using Unreal Engine for CD Projekt Red. CEO Adam Krasinski stated that in 2022, its release was at least 3 years away. However, Senior VP of Business Development Michael Nowosky noted that the number would probably be closer to 4 or 5 if the company's previous development cycles are anything to go by. And fans of CD Projekt Red rendition of Night City will be happy to learn that the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 is also already in the works. Though it's unclear at exactly what stage of development, codename Orin, the futuristic follow-up will aim to build upon what was CD Projekt Red while also transforming into an coherent total immersion experience. The evolution will echo the gameplay improvements that The Witcher and Witcher 2 and 3 offer over the original games. So they're moving on to the next projects. Okay, so I was reading about this a little while ago that they're actually going to be so their next Cyberpunk game is called Project Orin. All right, and they're already in works on a new Witcher game, which is like why they're finished with this. So that's what we're about to see. That's why they're doing it the way they're doing it. So Cyberpunk is such a great game. If you haven't played it and you're one of those people that's like, oh, I don't like Cyberpunk, that game sucks. You're missing out on a lot of fun. Actually, that game, if Grand Theft Auto was to go in the first person view, that's what that game would be like. It's Grand Theft Auto mixed with like Fallout. That's the two. That's when it combined together, it makes a great mixture. But um, you know, it's just something I wish they would have done with Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto, it's okay, but I like having a first person shooter better than a third person. Like I played Grand Theft Auto 5 for a little bit, and I can't say I entirely hate the game. It's just like, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do, and I actually, I'm just not into like, I don't know. There's something about it that doesn't draw me in enough to be like it's super exciting. And I think it's because Cyberpunk 2077 is a future dystopian game like that would be what the future's about, and it's sci-fi in a way. So that's why I kind of like it. As for like Grand Theft Auto, it's more like a lot of so I want to say that if they were movies, I would choose Cyberpunk 2077 over Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto has it's just like it's your standard average action movie. That's what it reminds me of. Not to diss Grand Theft Auto, but it's one of those things that the new Grand Theft Auto game looks amazing, but it's like, am I gonna rush out to play it? That's the question I always ask when I see new games. And I know when there's games I'm gonna rush out and play because you know I'm at the point now where I know my style of game and what I look forward to, and yeah, there's still a bunch of games that I need to play, but like right now, after I finish Zelda, I gotta finish out stuff back here. But I could also go and play Lies of P on Game Pass apparently, which is something I actually want to try and do. All right, I saw all this yesterday. There's a Universal Studios worker I follow on one of the websites on social media, and they actually were advertising this. But they don't work in the Japan one. They work for the American theme park here in Florida. So, all right. Universal Studios Super Nintendo World reveals Donkey Kong Country expansion opening day. So, this is actually going to be the next theme park they put in um after the Super Mario. I guess it's the next theme park they're putting in with Super Mario. All right. But this is interesting. Donkey Kong Country theme park expansion will open in spring 2024 at Universal Studios Japan, with future opening scheduled for Orlando, Florida. So they're not even talking about putting this in California. That's weird. they're talking about putting it in Orlando, Florida. That's just kind of strange because usually they put something over in California first, unless this is going to be the Orlando, Florida theme park opening instead of Super Mario World, which when you think about it, Super Mario is actually, the face of Nintendo. If they're doing it that way, that's gonna be kind of weird because I'm used to seeing Mario as a big part of like Nintendo, and I don't know. And I can guarantee you, and I hope this don't happen, but I hope we get the Zelda theme park. If they're gonna do it that way, where they're giving us theme parks and we're getting Donkey Kong, I hope like hell we get the Legend of Zelda one because I'm gonna be pissed if it ends up in California. And I don't want to move to California just to go. I don't want to move to California just because of a theme park. Announced during a special press conference in Osaka, Japan. I guess that. Yeah, I think that's right. The Donkey Kong Country theme park expansion for Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan will be coming in spring 2024. The land will expand the existing Super Nintendo World section of the park, which is based on Super Mario Bros. Games. So yeah, okay. So they're gonna be adding that in first. I just don't know when they'll be adding it to the one in Orlando, Florida. Everybody seemed to have forgotten about this game. I was like, when is that coming out? First announced in 2021, Donkey Kong Country expansion at Universal Studios Japan will be the second Nintendo property to receive a dedicated land at the theme park. The expansion will be based on popular Donkey Kong games and will feature familiar characters and unique attractions, which the land is expected to eventually make its way to the United States. It is currently slated to open first in Japan this coming spring. During a dedicated press conference at Universal Studio in Osaka, the upcoming Donkey Kong Country expansion was confirmed to have an opening date on spring 2024. Construction on the land has been steadily progressed since 2021, with recent updates from local fans showing a sneak peek at Donkey Kong theme park. Lands progress in the official announcement trailer shared by Japanese news outlet Famitsu. Fans can spot a number of classic landmarks in its items from the game. Meet and greets with people of characters from Donkey Kong games will be a key feature for the land. For fans unable to travel to Japan, a secondary version of the Donkey Kong Country theme park will be coming to the United States. And so, yeah, this is kind of cool. So yeah, the summer 2025. So 2025 is when my side of the country, or when my side of the United States is getting the Universal like theme park. So I guess they're waiting for the Donkey Kong Country theme park to come in. While the Donkey Kong Country theme park expansion will be opening at first at Universal Japan in 2024. The land is also currently under construction in Orlando, Florida. The BK area will be included in the opening themed zone for the upcoming Epic Universe, sorry. As part of a new addition to Universal Resort. Both the Japan and US version of the land will be identical and will offer a state-of-the-art roller coaster, food and drink offering, exclusive merchandise, and meet and greets with iconic Donkey Kong characters. Yeah, I actually can't wait till they bring. I want to see. I'm hoping that Zelda is the next theme park, but we'll see. All right, these are all images of like stuff that's coming out in the future, um, or what they're doing. So that's what the whole thing is gonna look like. I don't understand why Nintendo just didn't come out with a theme park by themselves. They have enough characters in their roster to make a whole a whole giant theme park. Exclusive merchandise, new power-up band design, an immersive land based on Donkey Kong Country video game franchise, Minecart Madness roller coaster. Fans will have pl- oh, Fans will have plenty of exciting activities and collectibles to look forward to when the Donkey Kong Country expansion opens at Universal Studios spring 2024. Merchandise will include the popular Japanese Oyega souvenir snack box as well as wearable items such as handbands. The power-ups bands first introduced with Super Nintendo World will return and will allow guests to collect the Kong letters around the park, just like in the Donkey Kong video game. The land's main attraction will be in the Minecart Madness roller coaster, which features a unique ride system that will have guests jumping over broken minecarts tracks. More details are likely to come as the opening dates get closer. So interested fans will stay tuned. Classic Nintendo video games remain incredibly popular, and Universal theme parks are taking notice. Super Nintendo World has already been a major hit with guests, and the upcoming Donkey Kong Country expansion is likely to draw even more attention. So, yeah, my thing is like Nintendo doesn't treat Donkey Kong like a second game. It does in Super Smash Brothers, but you know, and it pretty much, if you haven't noticed, if you play Mario games, a lot of them with the the party games or whatever, like Mario Kart 8 and all that, they really don't don't treat Donkey Kong as they treat him as a second game in the party games, but they never bring out any titles for Donkey Kong. They're always bringing out like Super Mario or Legend of Zelda titles. We haven't seen a Donkey Kong title in years. I mean, in a while actually. Yeah, years to be exact. To be honest, because I think the last one I forget the last one we saw, but the next Donkey Kong game we're about to see is that Donkey Kong versus Mario game, which is not everybody's excited for. I'm excited for it because I actually like those games, but there's a lot of people that think it looks stupid. So it's like, what else do you expect? I mean, I don't know when we're getting the next actual Donkey Kong game, and that's something I'm not concerned with because I'm not, I like Donkey Kong because he's a part of the Nintendo roster. I have Donkey Kong back here as an amiibo, which I have Donkey Kong right here, which I bought it as an amiibo brand new. So boy, that's dusty. I need to dust off the shell. I didn't realize how dusty that is, but um, so Donkey Kong isn't exactly one of my favorites, but that's a part of the Nintendo memorabilia that has been coming out. So I respect it, but I don't. There's one game out for the Nintendo Switch that's Donkey Kong, and I believe it's Tropical Freeze, not Tropical Freeze. So hold on, let's see. Donkey Kong Switch game. So yeah, Tropical Freeze. Yeah, Tropical Freeze, and it came out in the early era of the Switch. They didn't even bother to make a sequel after it. It's still pretty expensive too. But this goes on sale every once in a while, and it's been around since the beginning of the Switch. So the thing about Nintendo, and this is something I wish they would do, is I wish they would actually give us real good sales. And they do digital sales once in a while, but it's I want a good sale where I can actually go out and purchase your items at a discount. And we're not even gonna get that after the Switch is done. We won't get discounts on games after the Switch is done either. So games that are if you go and you look at the price of a 3DS game, so 3DS games, hold on. So that was the price of a brand new game back when it first came out. Like they're actually still the original price that they were when they first came out. Like $40 for Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS is insane. Like they're not really lowering prices on these Nintendo 3DS games, and it's kind of like, well, it's kind of stupid to be honest because it just doesn't help when people actually want to go out and buy your games after your whole like console was officially done. It doesn't help. All right? If you were to drop them down to like $15 or like less than that or like 20, people would actually go buy those games after the console was completely shut down. The 3DS is no longer accessible as a store. It's been down for like a couple of months now. And Nintendo's still selling 3DS games at the original price. That's partly why you see people go out and emulate them. And then Nintendo gets mad about that too. So what the hell else is it that we're supposed to do? I mean, emulating games is pirating, but like you're not giving us capabilities to access old games, and it's just stupid. It's stupid when it comes down to it. Like after your console was shut down, lower the price on some of the games instead of keeping them at the price they're at. You know, I could go down to the retro game store right now and find one of those games used at a lower price than that. And like I remember growing up and I was collecting all the Pokemon games and playing Pokemon and just you'd find the games like out there for like $60 and they were like two consoles behind or something like that and it was just ridiculous. But I don't know. I thought they revealed everything already at the Game Awards. Cause I've been paying attention. You know what? I'm gonna go back and look at this because I'm kind of curious as to what this is about. The Game Awards reveals final five nominees for Player's Voice Award. All right. The Game Awards 2023 set to cap off an incredible year of gaming on December 7th as the final five nominees for Player's Voice category have been revealed, though many see Baldur's Gate 3 as a favorite. Okay, so I'm gonna clarify this. Again, this is just my take on this, and this is stuff that I've seen throughout the internet. Okay, and if you go back to Nintendo Prime's video from yesterday, there are people literally not rating this game. Okay, and they're statistically, when you look at it, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the game that should be winning Game of the Year, not Baldur's Gate. If you go back and look at Nintendo Prime's video from yesterday. Now, I don't know why everybody keeps saying Baldur's Gate 3 is a favorite of the year, because even when you sit there and you look at statistically how Baldur's Gate sold, okay? Somebody tried to literally tell me that on the chart of games that were selling for the year, what people bought for October, because that's when this game came out, they weren't on that top 20 list of top selling games. They weren't on that list. They were nowhere to be found. All right? So, I'm just throwing this out there, but I don't think Baldur's Gate actually belongs anywhere on a top 20s list because the Baldur's Gate didn't sell as well as like what people are making it. That's why I feel like there's something here that is just kind of a lie that people are making up and people keep continuing to, cheer this game on even though statistically we didn't see anything out there based on Baldur's Gate 3 being in a top 20s list anywhere. You can look it up. You can look up around the time it came out. September through October. The game was not found on a top 20 list of best-selling games. All right, it wasn't selling. Okay, and then statistically, even Nintendo Prime, he went down a list of games that statistically Baldur's Gate didn't show enough voting. It voted well, but like at the same time, it didn't show it didn't show it had enough. Tears of the Kingdom had more votes on it for the rating than Baldur's Gate 3 did. That's why I'm saying statistically and scientifically, if you want to look at it, Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't win anything. But it probably will. And it's based upon the fact that the Video Games Awards is based around people who who are bigger than us voting on a bunch of games. Now, the people are voting, so I could be wrong about this, and it could be based on people's votes. But looking at everything as a whole, you can just go and do your research and see what I mean. That Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be winning anything. It should, it's. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be in Game of the Year because Alan Wake 2, which a lot of people bitched about, is in Game of the Year, the top six games of the year. All right, so I look at it from that standpoint. I'm trying to look at it from both sides, so I'm not like either way. I'm still gonna like Tears of the Kingdom even if it doesn't win. And I'm like Nintendo Prime. I selfishly want Tears of the Kingdom win because it's a Zelda game and I love Zelda, and it's always nice to see your favorite franchise win Game of the Year and stuff like that. But let's just move on. Let's just keep on going on with this. Okay. To repeat the success it had at the Golden Joystick Awards, many games deserve to a mention of making 2023 such a delight for video game enthusiasts across the globe. The first half of the year, titles such as Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil, Tears of the Kingdom established themselves as thrilling releases. The later half was marked by the debut of Alan Wake, Lies of P, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and of course Baldur's Gate 3. They forgot to mention Super Mario Bros. Wonder because it made the sixth game of the year, but by listing the aforementioned titles far too many still feel left out. Well, yeah, so a lot of games are being left out. For me, I always bitch about it, but like I know Resident Evil is a remake, and that's how they're looking at it, so it's not the same game. But when you look at it statistically, we had Metroid Prime Remastered, okay, being one of the best remastered games of the year, which is standing at a 94. And if that would have made it into this list, we would have seen something entirely different. But because we're not seeing that, and we're seeing what these guys want to pick for it, that's where I would have like made it entirely different. So, all right. While winners at the Game Awards are determined by mixed vote between its jury and the public, the player's voice is entirely dedicated by fans' votes, split into three separate rounds. All right. The games that made it to the final round of voting were announced by the Game Award on Twitter, and players have a chance to pick their favorite titles of 2023 by visiting the player's voice category on the website, logging into their account, and casting their vote. Unsurprisingly, Baldur's Gate 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty are two of the finalists, but Marvel Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and Genshin Impact survived until the final round as well. While Genshin Impact is not released in 2023, the impressive debut of Fontana proved why the Gacha game is still at the top of its genre. So, yeah, this is something I'm going to complain about. All right, this game has been out for a while, and I haven't bothered to play it because, you know, let's look at why I don't play it, okay? Or I'm going to break down to you why I don't play Genshin Impact, okay? So, Genshin Impact, okay? Now, let's take a look at, okay. So, this right here, okay? The style, I mean, it says as you look at the picture, I'm not a guy who's into this kind of stuff. It's, even this right here. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that's a guy back there. I can't, this is the thing, is like games like this. I don't play games like this because we got too much girly stuff going on here. And I'm not a guy who's into really girly stuff. Like, I love Samus. Samus isn't a girly girl. She's a really like, she's an adventurous woman who she's very much like Laura Croft, and that's why I like Laura Croft. Is hot, she kicks ass and she's adventurous. This is a game right here that I wouldn't even bother to play because I don't really, it's not something I would get into. I can already tell you that I'd rather play WoW over this. And and there's a lot of games that I would play over this. And WoW and games like that allow you to create a character. You can create a guy, you can create a woman, and my ideal woman would be a woman who is down for adventure. These ladies here, these are the type of girls you find at a coffee shop reading a book and then envisioning themselves going on an adventure and casting magic. As for Samus and Laura Croft, they're not those girls. They're those are the girls that go out, kick ass, and shoot people. And metaphorically speaking, but yeah, they shoot people and they do really wild stuff. These girls here, they'll run around in high heels, and that's what bothers me about this stuff. It just like it's the reason I don't play this is because this reminds me a lot of those like teen girls you see in high school that run around with cosplay on and high heels and try to cast magic. Like it's high school stuff. That's why I don't bother to touch it. But the other list of what's on there is stuff that is up my alley. Like Baldur's Gate 3. Whether I want to accept it or not, I would rather play Baldur's Gate 3 over Genshin Impact. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is more up my alley. Same thing with Spider-Man 2. But Genshin Impact, I don't think Genshin Impact deserves a spot on this. And like, I feel the same way about Fortnite. Fortnite is something I'm just never gonna play. It's just like what they're doing with Fortnite, where they're like advertising, they're using it as an advertising ground for like rappers, other like people that just they're part of pop culture, and because they're a part of pop culture, they automatically get themselves as a spot within that game. So that's why I'm not appreciative of some of this stuff, okay? And okay, so let's go back here. Survived until the final round as well. While Genshin Impact is not released in 2023, the impressive debut of Fantina proved why gacha games is still at the top of its genre. So, I'm probably going to go vote for this so I can make sure this game doesn't get anywhere. The Game Awards 2023 Players Final Voice Finalist, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 27, so on and so forth. But I already know what I'm gonna vote. So, in addition to seeing their favorite games snag a couple awards for the show, will also feature trailer teasers and announcements for upcoming titles. According to Jeff Keighley, the Game Awards will have a similar runtime compared to 2022, almost 3 hours long, which recently sounds promising considering how little is known about the major video game release of 2024. Death Stranding, a Monster Hunter sequel, or a new Star Wars Outlaws or trailer is coming are all strong possibilities. Sorry. The Game Awards 2023 will be a great way to cap off another prosperous year of gaming. However, the commercial success that publishers have enjoyed should be underscored by the massive layoff that occurs across the gaming industry, as over 6,000 developers have been laid off globally since January 2023. Hopefully, 2024 will restore job security in the video game industry, especially in the wake of all the wondrous titles that made 2023 so special. So, alright. Yeah, so again, in case you all didn't notice, this was like a big event that happened yesterday. Somebody, because they kept leaking stuff, we ended up getting the trailer like a day early, and it just kind of, it didn't even piss off Rockstar. They're just like, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna drop it on you guys because somebody out there is trying to ruin everything for us. So we're gonna drop it on you guys early, so that way you guys can like check it out and see what you think. And so far, it looks good, but I don't know if I'm gonna be playing it again. So let's see why Fortnite players aren't happy. Because I can guarantee you I'm just not going to care. And I'm going to laugh at it and be like, okay, cool. Fortnite fans aren't happy about Chapter 5 locker changes. Alright. The latest changes to Fortnite locker system have left many fans unhappy with Chapter 5. Each new Fortnite season ushers in changes to the game, with some alterations yielding more negative results than others. Whoops. Since it was released, Fortnite has offered a growing lineup of cosmetic items. These cosmetics cost V-Bucks, which can be purchased in different bundle options, as progressively more skins were added to the Battle Royale items rarity kept them categorized. This item variety loosely mirrors the weapon rarity in Fortnite, with the uncommon indicated by green light background, epic outfits with purple, and legendary with orange. Lockers were introduced in Season 1, and they helped players to separate their skins further on. Further, one interesting Chapter 5 change has left some players unhappy with the locker system. Reddit user plus Trap My Beloved, okay, recently shared 2 Fortnite screenshots highlighting the Chapter 5 changes. One image shows how the locker was before Chapter 5, with iconic series skins using a light blue colored background and video game character outfits using a purple one with a pattern unlike the old system. The new version of the locker hides these backgrounds. The gamer's screenshot shows Batman alongside the other cosmetics, with no way of deciphering which set each one comes from. Each Fortnite DC Comics character is supposed to be represented by dark blue background, but even the video game and icon skins have lost their color reflecting their set. So, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't understand the method of how Fortnite works. I guess it's like a trading card game where you buy a skin and it's more valuable than others. I don't know how Fortnite works. It's just Fortnite's always been weird to me. It's always that like weird game that, oh, you can't even go over it. It's always been that weird game to me that just doesn't, it's like, okay, you basically are putting every single skin into the game instead of like, you know, it's like, why don't they do stuff like that in Street Fighter, man? Street Fighter games like that are more deserving of like random skins as opposed to Fortnite. But Fortnite's made a lot of money, so I have to give them credit for that at least. All right. The Fortnite locker has been adjusted a few times in the past, notably changing the UI and expanding the preset cap. Plush Trap My Beloved is among many Fortnite fans expressing displeasure at the locker changes, pointing to the recent controversies One gamer suggests that Epic Games, excuse me, is known for messing up the user interface. Another Reddit user highlighted that the Fortnite Chapter 5 locker doesn't display which season skin are from either, because these locker icon changes were often used to find specific sets. Finding the right one has become harder with the original chapter with the release of Chapter 5. With the set no longer indicated by the background, using the cosmetic favorites options may be the only way to sort through them effectively for now. While the locker has undergone these changes already, the loss of item rarity has spurred more backlash than previous patches. Given the Epic Game Store continues to update Fortnite, it's possible that Chapter 5 changes will be reverted or the new system will be improved. Alright. I guess I'll read this before I go. Microsoft Rewards starts adding cooldown timer. Alright, I don't know what this is, but Microsoft Rewards has taken another hit as Microsoft continues to implement program changes. The most recent change concerned daily searches and a new cooldown system that hinders Edge and Bing users from acquiring set amount of points. Users have shared their resentment online with other recent changes to the Microsoft Rewards program. Microsoft Rewards program has been through several reconstructive shifts for the past year. Xbox players, Edge browser users, and Bing guests have all voiced their opinion on the various changes. One of the biggest adjustments that Microsoft users have noticed was significant downgrade to a Game Pass quest, where the points were incredibly low in the acquisition. While other alterations come to mind, it seems that more changes are happening without official announcements. A recent amendment to Microsoft Rewards program sees a new cooldown system. This cooldown occurs when users utilize the Bing search engine to conduct 3 searches, in which a timer will begin for 15 minutes. In short, Microsoft Reward users will receive points for only 3 searches every 15 minutes, depending on their efforts. However, the cooldown doesn't seem to apply to all users across the globe. For reports of the changes to Microsoft Rewards have indicated that only a few countries have seen the addition to the program. These countries include Brazil, India, Mexico, and possibly more. In addition to the cooldown timer, users in the US and Canada have reported more changes to the Microsoft Rewards program. Beneath the daily streak and duties is a list of tasks that now only give out a few points beforehand. Users could easily earn 5 points or more for each mission. Others reported changes involving the daily search breakdown in Microsoft Rewards program in November. Discontented users have gone online to voice their opinion on the changes to the program. Some have admitted to moving on the rewards program. In contrast, others have looked to humor to subvert the hostile reception, including suggestions for users to utilize other engines and browsers not affiliated with Microsoft. In either case, the general crowd, sorry, I call it coward. The general crowd that uses the program isn't pleased with the latest addition in absence. While Microsoft has commented on the reward system with clarification about its evolution and changes, particularly with statements to Windows least, there hasn't been a response to users' outcry. These changes appear to be happening sporadically on the spot. And spot. Even as different countries share and report their required discoveries, not everyone is being affected by the newest changes. However, this might be a sign that more modifications could be on the way if Microsoft is looking to make some major adjustments to the future of its reward program. In the case it might be otherwise to turn in those points for some rewards before further makeovers unexpectedly come into effect. So, yeah, I know Microsoft runs a point system, but I wasn't sure what it was about, and that's why I like don't really bother with it too much because I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to look into it and see what it does. But it sounds like people use it for stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly sure what like it'd be used for. Maybe points to the Microsoft store or the Game Pass store or something like that. So yeah. But as for right now, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna be getting off here. I gotta go do some things. So I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I'll be back tonight later with the stream, which will be after midnight tonight. I'm not sure my schedule for the whole week. I have to check. I'd have to check and see what tomorrow brings for me. But I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow morning, same time. So, all right, guys. With that said, everybody take it easy. Have a wonderful day and get out there and game.